The play A Streetcar Named Desire is a gendered work and a great example of feminism because the characters Blanche and Stanley are proof of huge gender stereotypes. The stereotypes of their genders, male and female, define their behavior and interactions with each other and give the reader some situations that are very surprising. So one way that this work is gendered is it shows masculinity and being a man through Stanley. So masculinity in Stanley is linked to him physically and psychologically, both good and bad. The good is mostly associated with Stella, while the bad is mostly associated with Blanche. So physically, Stanley is portrayed as a man he uses big, hard, aggressive, raw force. His strength and strong figure is emphasized frequently, and he often asserts his violence through interactions and acts of violence. So his strong figure is found to be very attractive to Stella, but on the other hand, he also uses it to force himself upon Blanche and rape her, which is obviously very bad and not good. So that kind of shows how physically his figure is found good, like attractive to Stella, but bad because he uses it to rape Blanche. Psychologically, he also asserts his masculinity. So when he talks to Stella, he's very tender. When he talks about the pregnancy, he's very caring. He's very kind. But when he talks to Blanche, he often brings up her sad, dirty past, and he brings it up when it didn't even need to come up. He mentally torments her. So Stanley is a great example of masculinity and being a man and manhood, but he's very clearly not a gentleman because he crosses the line a lot. He's often very cruel to Blanche, while he's always kind to Stella pretty much. All right, so Stella defines feminism in this work. So Stella's femininity is based on reality, unlike her sister's. Her sister is very focused on the past. Stella likes to live in the now. So Stella's pregnancy shows the physical, genuine, exposed nature of like herself as a woman. But the thing about this is that Stella chooses her love and dependence on Stanley over her own sister, which is unfortunately a gender stereotype that women are often dependent on males, like in the household, like male's the breadwinner, and that which does happen to be true in the situation. Stanley is the one working a job. So even when Stanley hits her sister and Blanche's story about the rape is uncovered, Stella is aware. She doesn't want to get out of the relationship, which truly shows her dependence on him. Like, even though she's pregnant, like, she knows he did a horrible act. She hurt her sister, and he didn't actually, which usually any marriage is done or any relationship is over, but she chooses to stay with him. So that's a very defining characteristic of Stella. It's interesting because, she has a decision to make at the end of the story, and I personally was surprised that Stella chooses Stanley over her own sister when he commits such a horrible, horrendous act. So in this book, masculinity is this physical and mental force that is so strong, so huge, and feminism, it follows the rules pretty much in this book, for Stella at least, because she's a lady, as one could say, and she also unfortunately has to rely on Stanley because he's the breadwinner. So I think this play is a very gendered work, but I think it does a very good job at pointing out the faults of it and at times the good parts of it. Thank you.